Todd, is there any concern that the three coordinators are all going to be first-time guys in that role?
No. I mean, I'm going to run the offense, so let's eliminate that part of it. Byron, who we hired from Green Bay, trained under Rich Bisaccia. I mean, one of the all-time greats, and he's ready. He's ready, and then I don't feel defensively because we were able to retain the staff and the players. I mean, to me, there's not a better situation that you could have for a first-time play caller than to have the players that we have and the staff that help put that all together. Because I'm not the same without our offensive staff. But we're kidding ourselves if we think we do it all alone. There's no chance.
Hey, Todd, just to follow up on that, you mentioned on the podium about how when you were at Southern Miss, you gave up the play calling duties. How did that change you as a head coach? How did that help just the overall picture? And I know it's a different situation at college versus now, but what's your impact on your philosophy?
It was a lot easier then. Similar, we had a really good group coming back of offensive players. Chip and I were really aligned offensively, and we still built it the same during the week. And at that moment, it just made a lot of sense. The other thing was, I do think it's a little bit easier to assess everything about the organization, players, if you can step back a little bit.
Is there any sense, what would it be like to give up plays like even now? I mean, I know you're just now in this job, but just the whole thought of you not actually calling the plays, how difficult would that be at this point?
It's not difficult today. We haven't even started. But, I mean, I'm joking. I mean, every year's different. Every week's different. I don't see it, at this point. But you never say never. I mean, you never get the point. I mean, I think we've had this year already, this last week, where Sean Payton says he's given up play calling and Dave Canales has given up play calling. But you got to get things going in the direction you want, work with somebody long enough to where you feel comfortable handing that over. We're not at that point yet.
Have you had a chance to talk to Miles yet?
I have not had a chance to. We've texted back and forth, but between all of his travels and being overseas for the Olympics, I haven't had a chance to talk to him. But I'm excited to.
Todd, do you have a gut feeling yet on whether or not you really think that you have what you need in your quarterback room to get the job done, in 2026, or do you sort of feel like you might need to bring somebody in from the outside too?
I think that's a little bit of a baited question on that one, but I will say that we're always trying to upgrade every position. That's not the only position. I know it's the position everybody wants to talk about, and I get it. I get it. I'm excited about Shedeur. I'm excited about Deshaun and Dylan. I'm excited about the prospects, not only in free agency, but also in the draft. And we'll see where it all falls. I mean, ultimately, you've got to do whatever you need to do, especially at that position, to put yourself in a position to score points.
Todd, are you opposed to having multiple rookies on your starting offensive line?
No.
Doesn't faze you? Is it more of a
No.
challenge?
No. I mean, if they're the best players, I mean, that's where we're at right now. I mean, we understand that. And so now would it multiple depends on how many multiple.
Two would be.
Two, okay, well, there we go. Yeah, let's not go to five. I mean, multiple's a pretty broad stroke there.
More than one.
Again, if they're really talented rookies, then no. I mean, we started a year ago, Roger Rosengarten at the Ravens, and he did fantastic. And so I've been around rookies that can play at a high level. And you've got to do things schematically to help them out. You certainly, especially a tackle.
Todd, I'm sure the nuts and bolts of your offense are the same wherever you go, but do you have an idea of what this offense is going to look like here, or do you need to get a feel for the players you have, the quarterback, all of that stuff first?
First off, I mean, not really. I mean, but how much are you really going to change? I mean, let's be real honest about it. I mean, Mike McDonald went from the Ravens to the Seahawks, and I'm sure they tweaked some things. And each year you're tweaking it. It's going to change. You're going to evolve. You're going to adapt. And we're the same way, but what we do is what we do. How we call it and how we scheme it up can't change. Or you're not committed to anything. I mean, you have to be what you believe in and how you attack people. and how you prepare every week. So that can't change.
Todd, you guys are in rebuilding mode, sort of, I guess, but how important is it for you? This is your first time to be a head coach. How important is it for you to hit the ground running and try to get to winning as soon as possible?
Well, first off, I think every year, every team has to rebuild, either with the current players they have or through free agency or the draft. So I don't really see it as that. I see it as what pieces are available on our current roster, what pieces are out there in free agency, what pieces are out there in the draft, and how do we put together, starting with the offensive line, because that's where it starts, and then every other position group that gives us the best chance to compete every Sunday. So rebuild is probably a little strong. Retool maybe, add pieces to that, and then how quickly do we get them up to speed?
Todd, you mentioned free agency a couple times yesterday. Andrew Berry said that he'd expect to be a little more aggressive than last year, but probably more aggressive next offseason. But when you guys are looking in free agency, what's the pitch to players that this is a good place to be as you're going to be in those conversations? Like, how do you make this a good fit for players who maybe are considering other teams, weighing other options?
Well, usually free agents take the most money. So that's what you have to do, is have money to spend. Let's be real honest there. I mean, then the rest comes into play. It's just like NIL anymore. Everything else is important, just not as important, right? When money's involved, relationships are important. Ability to win is important. You name it. Like in college, it's your academics, right? Your degree, close to home, and that's still all part of it. Your family, but ultimately, it's how much money they're going to get paid, and where do they fit, and then the relationship piece of it. So, and then ultimately you want to get players that are still playing at a high level. I mean, certainly you want to be certainly smart in terms of where you spend the money, but we all know in free agency, if you want a good player, they've proven it on NFL tape, you're going to have to spend. And that's just the way it is, and at times overspend.
Let's go back to the defense really quick with Rutenberg, and it seems like everyone in Atlanta was talking about his knowledge of the secondary and the way they disguise things. Like, how intriguing was that with him, and especially, like you said, knowing you have all these guys essentially coming back, your defensive starters, to maybe switch some things up in the back end?
Very exciting. And no matter who was going to be the defensive coordinator, there was going to have to be some changes. I mean, there just was. I mean, just some adaptation. Every year you're changing, you're evolving. So it didn't matter who was, just like we will offensively. From last year to this year, the personnel we have, every team's different. Next year, every year after that, you're going to evolve. So that's exciting. He obviously came very highly recommended, certainly respected within the profession, and it was his time. And it was obvious when he came and interviewed to all of us that that's the direction we were going to head.
What's your favorite piece of advice you've received about taking over an NFL team for the first time?
Best bit of advice. I don't know if I've asked enough people yet for that. It's been, I think I just lost this, whatever that was. Put it there. I haven't really gotten to that point yet of asked the advice part, because you're in a whirlwind trying to hire staff. You're getting ready for the combine and free agency and all of the things that come with that you really haven't even had a chance to reach out and say. I think I did talk to Liam Cohen, and Liam said a lot of the football stuff was the easiest part of it, that the scheduling part of it was the hardest part the first year, because you're responsible for it all. I'll compare it. When I got to Southern Miss, 2013, we were 2 weeks away from spring ball. True story. Dave Duggan comes in, our defensive coordinator, and says, hey, you got the faces for spring ball? And I said, oh, I got to do that. Like, you have to set that. Like, someone usually used to bring you the schedule. What is that? When you start, right? All of those things, the days you're going to work, right? Whatever's the fine schedule, whatever those things are that you have to do that are more organizational than it is what you're used to on a day-to-day basis. It's like all of us. Where is your comfort zone? It's what you've done over the course of time. Anything that's different is going to take time to just get into a routine. Not hard. None of that's hard. It's just getting into a routine of your time management. It's probably the biggest thing. Where do you put your time?
Todd, it's been 4 years since you've been at Georgia and in the SEC, but do you see your value in this draft process being your contacts?
I think so.
In college, particularly at Georgia, when
I think
you look
so.
at offensive linemen?
I think being in college, like any personal relationships, I don't think it ever hurts if you want to get real information, right? Right? Like, if someone off the street, or you guys ask my wife how cool it is to be married to me, and she doesn't know you, what is she going to say? Oh, he's the best ever. I mean, holy cow, I can't believe my life being any better without him. Someone that really knows her, right? Who knows what she'll say? I don't know yet, but they'll get the real. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is the same thing, right? If you know guys specifically, and you're able to drill down a little bit, okay, tell me really how this player ticks. Compare that player to player X, someone else. He's just like this. And it's the same way when you're in college going to high school and you want to know about a certain player. Tell me about how this player is wired. Do they love football? The day-to-day. And I think any of those relationships that are stronger, you're gonna cut to the core of what they're really like.
Todd,
We're gonna go two more. Always a help.
Todd, you got asked what you think your strengths are as head coach. You said you don't like to talk about yourself. I'm just like, is that maybe the answer, that you just it's not about you?
Well, I don't really understand that question. I'm not trying to be it. I don't understand that. I just, like I said, I coach.
Like you don't make it about yourself. I guess.
I coach football for a living. I don't understand the strength of it. To be the same thing. Like, what do you think your strengths are as a husband? I don't know. Go ask my wife. I mean, what are your strengths as a father? Well, go ask my son. I don't know that. Hopefully they say the right. But it's the same thing. Like, ask the guys that I've coached, or the coaches that I've coached with. To me, that's a better. I could say whatever it is. You know, I could, whatever you'd want to hear, you can spin it. That what really matters is the people you work with and the people you're around, that you've been able to touch, and hopefully you've had some sort of an impact that's helped them live out their dreams. And I'm excited here just because I love the challenge, and there'll be no better place to do it than being with the Cleveland Browns. I can promise you that.
Todd, you have mentioned that you like to have a dual threat quarterback or a mobile quarterback. Does Shedeur Sanders have the kind of mobility that you're looking for to do the job the way that you like to see it done?
I think all three of the quarterbacks have mobility. I think you see that on tape. Shedeur surprised me a little bit in terms of it's mobile might be, but he's got a knack. He's got a feel, like he does in playmaking. He has a real sense in the pocket when it starts to collapse and moving around the pocket. And he made more plays or got himself out of trouble than I would have guessed, than I would have thought even coming out, which was nice to see. As Deshaun has throughout his career, and Dylan has.